Guys, this one's titled MAGA Voters Are Furious on How the World Views the U.S. Right now. It's going crazy. Let's go ahead and just check it out.
I created a series on how the world views the US. It has been viewed over 100 million times, and I have hundreds of thousands of comments from people all over the world. So I'm uniquely qualified to comment on how the rest of the world sees people in the US. And to my fellow Americans, I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. We are not well liked. We are downright hated by so many people in so many other countries. We are an active threat to the rest of the world. We elected a dangerous human being and put him in charge of things that affect people all around the globe. And just like many of us here in the US, they are suffering as a result, and they don't like it. We are actively hated by one of our biggest historical allies, Canada. So if you're an American and you find yourself traveling outside of the US, you better make it really clear that you are not a Trump or Elon.
You better watch how you wear those Make America Great Again hats. Yeah, you might put a target on your back, pretty much, man. All right, with the way gas prices are, the way tariffs are, the way he is just firing off at the words, it's triggering other countries. Other countries are now calling us a terrorist state. The U.S., a terrorist state, because of the war in Iran right now. It's getting real. The rest of the world just thinks that we're just trash.
So my parents and my sister went to Europe for about 3 weeks over the holidays, and they went to Barcelona, Portugal, Rome, Catania, and then in Sicily, where my grandfather's from. He's from this little town called Campobello. And so they went there, and they also went with my sister's fiance's mother and her boyfriend, who are from Colombia. And they, of course, in Colombia, they're like, what the hell is going on over there in the US? But when they were traveling in Europe, people would, you obviously spark conversations with people. And when they were asking my parents, where are you from? They say the US, and people are just like, oh, like, what the hell is going on there? What's up with your president? And I was like, did anybody say anything positive? I mean, there's got to be some people out there. They're like, no one that we interacted with. In fact, well, I know like my whole family, they're in Sicily. They're always like messaging my mom on WhatsApp, like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Wow.
But then they were in the little town that my family lives in, and this old man had come up, and he was barely could speak any English, but he had asked where they were from, and he was just like, Trump, like the way he said it.
We're not even getting recognized for American Pie anymore. We're not getting recognized for football. We're not getting recognized for Taylor Swift, Michael Jordan. We're not getting recognized for a lot of things. The things that we're getting recognized for is the wrongdoings of the president, his reputation. Crazy.
And my parents were like, no, we don't like him. And the guy was like, you could tell he was relieved, but he was just like, oh.
We'll take no chances.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, that's the sentiment there in Europe. Obviously, I know couldn't ask everybody, but that was the main sentiment from a majority of the people that they talked to, which we know. I mean, I already freaking knew, but it was just interesting to hear. I know that there is one country that definitely loves our president, though. Actually, my friend used to date someone that lived in Israel, and when he came here in 2020, he couldn't go back home until he had the Make America Great Again red hat. And I was just like, what is the obsession? It's fucking weird. But yeah, and then she ended up moving there for him, and they're not even together.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's what's going on over there.
This is the first time I've been abroad since the election, and I've lost count of how many times I've gotten that look of awe and sympathy that I get when I tell people I'm from the States.
Yeah, you know what? It would have been like, hey, tell me a story. Like, hey, how's this? I heard that New York City is something like this, like Los Angeles is that and that. But now we're getting symptoms. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Like, damn. I'm so sorry for your state right now. I'm so sorry for your family right now. I'm like, damn, how did it get this bad that other countries are just feeling bad for the individual citizen? It's getting crazy.
In the past few weeks, I've been to the UK, I've been to Lithuania, I've been to Latvia, I've been to Estonia, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Åland Islands, and everywhere I go, I get the look. I have never been ashamed of my country. Never been ashamed of my country. I served it for 16 years. And what I've had to do over here, after the 5th or 6th or 7th conversation, I had to tell them, I'm from Canada. I can't even claim my own fucking country.
Damn.
This administration that's coming in has painted a target on our backs. I'll always love my country, but I fucking hate the cowards that are coming in to run it.
This is the cover of a magazine in Slovenia. It's talking about the attack on Venezuela, and you can see the clear reference that they're making here. It's pretty obvious. I want to say to those watching, I did not make this. This is how Europe views what's going on here right now. They see it. And I hate to say it, but they're kind of the experts in figuring that out, no? That's also got to be an old picture of him. Here, this is in the UK, at a bus stop. No matter how many countries you invade, you'll still be this word. And this word translates to being attracted to young women.
A predator. Okay.
On a bus stop. Right there. There they are. 2 little peas in a pod. And those are the 2 messages going through Europe right now. All of Europe believes that he's a PDF problem. Why are we still in denial? And if anybody gets in here, starts bringing in my comments, well, I don't care. Shut up. If you want to be a snowflake, because the maggots are the true snowflakes of the world, go somewhere else. We're not going to put up with that here. Until you're ready to relieve your cult, then you can give me a call and we can work on getting you out of there. But until then, just scroll past, please. The big point I'm making is that those of us that think this, we are not alone. We're not alone. Because they're also seeing this around the world. We're not alone. We were right.
It's crazy. It's just that, man, he does have a long rap sheet of a lot of crazy stuff. I remember the one that stands out to me the most is he was getting interviewed on a tour bus, and the mic picked up him asking, or somewhat involving him in the female reporter and grabbing the like he wanted. It was insane. And I think that if I remember correctly, that was way before he was president. Yeah, he just was just doing weird shit before that. Yeah.
To be mad, we are right to be worried. So, let me know what you think about this. Again, Slovenia magazine. And yeah, follow for more. I'll update you throughout the day. And remember, link in my bio for my Substack. I'll talk to you a little bit. Okay, I love you. Bye.
I'm a girl who's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I recently just lived abroad for a year. And now I'm back. And let me just tell you guys, people are mean. I just learned how much people in different countries hate Americans and just have this fixed idea about us. They think that we're stupid. They think we're fat. They think that we drive big cars. They think we don't care about the environment. They just think that we don't know about any other place in the world. They think that we love having guns, we're okay with school shootings. It's actually insane because
they pretty much think that we're just redneck assholes. That's pretty much what they think. Oh wow, they just unintelligent, low IQ type beings over here that don't care about health or the environment. That's probably what they're thinking. And it's not like we're giving the best example for a lot of things.
There are 350 million people living in the USA. There's a lot of us, okay? Most of us don't think that way. Most of us don't think the way that they think that we do. So I like to comment on the Dutch culture a lot because I lived there for a year. Of course, I will never know it like a true Dutch person, but I feel like I've at least been there and lived with Dutch people that I have at least some observations I've made that are accurate. But a lot of people have never even been to America and they see the craziest things. So I just want to say, if you're going to make a bold claim, like, at least know someone from America, go to the country. The news also is really skewed. I just think that people are so bold.
Europeans are really not happy with the United States. But
You know what I'm thinking? Like the real true MAGA heads, they're not really traveling abroad, and they're really not. I don't think they're really picking fights abroad either. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to travel to such and such country and walking around and like, hey, hooper hard, MAGA, 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 MAGA. You're not doing that. You're enjoying your vacation, and you're not going to cause the fuss when you're in another country. That's what you're doing. So you don't know who you're really coming across. But out of 350 million people, the majority probably would say, like, dude, like I'm just here on vacation. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to relax. I can care less about politics, those sort of things. And again, they feel sympathy for you.
But I do think that it's very, very important for us Americans to hear what people have to say about the United States.
What's the perception over in Europe, like in England and the Netherlands, about travel to the U.S. right now? Do you feel like your friends and family feel comfortable traveling there?
No, nobody I know back in England or here would go to the US at the moment. Not with all the news we're getting of people being, refused entry and sent back to where they came from.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Oh my God. That was so quick. That was instantaneous. Immediately, her reaction to this question. She didn't even have to think about it. She's like, no way. That right there tells me so much. That a lot of Europeans, like, completely have your mind made up about the United States. You don't even have to think about it.
No.
Like, you would not even consider traveling here. And she honestly named a couple of very legitimate reasons.
Wow.
Like, I get it.
Right.
So this message will be very tough. Republicans, this is going to be really hard for you to hear because what you've been told is a lie.
Break it
The
down.
United States of America is the most disrespected country in the entire world. And his name is Donald Trump.
Why Europeans hate Americans, according to Europeans. Before we get into it, this is just for fun. This topic came up in a European co-living that I was in, and I took notes, and they're too good not to share. I have more of these culture chats in the playlist, and feel free to follow if you're interested. Let's get into it. Number one, label their jokes. They always have to say I'm joking. British people would not do this. This is very true. I think we as Americans are extremely afraid of offending people. I definitely do this. Guilty. Number two, they think America is the center of the world and they were all weird know-it-alls about pretty much every subject. They said a lot of Americans always seem to center the conversation around the United States and bring every topic back to the United States. That a lot of Americans seem to fail to recognize that there's crazy cultural differences and that not everything applies to the Western point of view. Number three, they are overly obsessed with identity and labeling things. Conversations, they'll always say things like I have ADHD, I'm neurodivergent, and an American is much more likely to talk about identity politics and bring up their identity and how they identify themselves in a way that a lot of Europeans really wouldn't. Number four, too fanatical about everything. From football to firearms, we have an opinion about everything and we are going to share it. And lastly, I am so guilty of this. Everything is way too hype. I had a friend sit me down and he said, listen, you have had the best meal of your life 3 times in the past 2 weeks. Sometimes things can just be good. Sometimes they can be fine, but not everything is amazing. I feel like Americans are the golden retrievers of the world. I find they tend to be really like peppy and passionate and really hyping everything up. So I totally agree with number 5. Let me know what you guys think. Sound off in the comments. And if you have anything more to add, we know the geography one. So let's just move past that.
Like, I mean, they do have we're guilty of all these things, man. This is what one country views us, but let's go ahead and ask all the countries. They're probably going to have a mixture of everything that's just terrible, right? And right now, it just doesn't feel good to be traveling and calling yourself American right now, because like, you don't know what you're going to get. You might get sympathy, empathy, you might get hate. They might love you. They might plot against you. You just don't know what you're going to get as American. At one time, you can just go out and people would enjoy having a conversation with you. Like right now, people are probably avoiding Americans at any cost, like right now. And that doesn't feel good. Like it doesn't, you know. But what do you guys think? What is your honest opinion as an American? How do y'all view the U.S. right now? Leave your thoughts in the comments and I'll chat with you there.